Bitcoin's hope, optimism, and fundamentally as the best money of all time, it's an ability to value your future, right? Money as a technology, that's one of the core tenets as why we need money is obviously we don't want to barter, but then we also need as a species an ability to value our future. Bitcoin is an ego test, inevitably. Don't exceed your means. Live humbly and own your cash balance in Bitcoin. Bitcoin, if money is the technology that is supposed to allow us to place a premium on our future, it has entirely changed me and saved my life, really.
As Bitcoin's price jumps to new highs, approaching $59,000, while the US dollar index falls to year-to-date lows, experts such as Peter Schiff warn of a possible currency crash. Meanwhile, Bitcoin enthusiasts like Strike's CEO, Jack Mallers, remain hopeful about the future of Bitcoin. Mallers recently spoke with Peter McCormack about his personal experience with Bitcoin, noting its impact on his life and Strike's large Bitcoin holdings. Mallers' focus on the importance of building connections, staying resilient, and making thoughtful decisions aligns well with the prevailing mood in today's market. As traders eagerly anticipate the Federal Reserve's next actions, Mallers' commitment to Bitcoin's core values highlights the cryptocurrency's power to foster optimism, even during challenging periods. With the US dollar's dominance diminishing, Bitcoin's rise may be more than just a market trend. It might signal a bigger shift in the world of finance. Jack Mallers stated that the expansion in Bitcoin's adoption has given consumers and organizations a fresh perspective on their objectives and decision-making processes. Mallers also emphasized the importance of judging success in relation to Bitcoin's growth and how this has shaped Strike's business strategy. He feels that Bitcoin promotes ethics and humility and that his company reflects these qualities. Watch clips from the interview for further insights into Jack Mallers' conversation. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more content. Enjoy the video.
Non-financially, I think Bitcoin's hope, optimism, and fundamentally as the best money of all time, it's an ability to value your future, right? Money as a technology, that's one of the core tenets as why we need money is obviously we don't want to barter, but then we also need as a species an ability to value our future. Like none of us are going to the beach today because we want to put in time and energy into the marketplace and build for a better future, right? So what do you get out of a Bitcoin club? When I was in Bedford, a lot of hope, a lot of optimism, and an ability for a club to actually like value tomorrow better than today for the first time ever, right? So that's what you get for being a Bitcoin club. And then financially, when you plug in Bitcoin into a football club, into a family, into you as a man, into a country, it doesn't matter. You're getting, I mean, what Odell referenced, Bitcoin on average is 63% year over year over the last decade. That's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. So the way I talk about it at Strike is we have two companies internally, two business lines. We have our operating business, which is, we call it BTC Fiat. Like at the end of the day, that's how we make money, whether it's buy, sell, payments, this or that. And then we have our Bitcoin treasury. And we as a business, like at the last board meeting, I said, Strike, I mean, we've got a big strategic stockpile at Strike and we could do all and all go to the beach if we want. And that strategic stockpile at 63% year over year in a decade is going to be worth $1 gajillion. And so the level of power and gravity that gives to anyone. So at Strike, we measure ourselves against that 63%. If an employee comes to me and says, hey, I'm really interested in hiring this person. I'm really interested in starting this project. I look them in the eye and I say, are you going to beat 63%? And if they say no, say it's not worth our time and energy and it stays in the reserve. And so we actually have an operating company that's performing 200% quarter over quarter, and its goal is to outcompete the 63. I think of the promise of Bitcoin similar to the promise of death. It's the fact that I know I'm going to die is what allows me to value my time. If I was going to live forever, I'd get married in 1,000 years. I'd go to the gym in 100,000 years. I'd have no ability to value today. Time is an infinite resource. My time isn't, because I'm going to die. And it's the fact that you can't make any more Bitcoin is what allows us to value time and energy for the first time and actually say, you know what, launching Strike, whatever else, isn't worth our time and energy. But it's like, how is anyone supposed to value a paycheck today without Bitcoin? with a theoretical infinite amount of dollars. Why you take the average over a long enough time frame is that you aren't susceptible to Trump printing and buying. Is if we take another decade and average it out, it should theoretically be lower because of the law of large numbers. So that's correct. But you're right, is that you have to hold your cash balances in the thing because Bitcoin is susceptible to these moments where a nation state or something. But the reason the 63% is what I lead with is because it's honest about the growth. Is it takes 10 years. It doesn't take early data that would skew it. And it takes the last decade of, it was real market, real pricing, real liquidity. And then you look at the S&P or you look at whatever else and it's not even close. And so that number should theoretically come down because of the law of large numbers. But that's the truth. But it doesn't mean that you won't have moments in the future where a lot of the future gains are captured in 6 months or 3 months or whatever. It doesn't matter who is first to market. I think Bitcoin rewards principles, ethics, humility, and we've embodied that as a business. Like I've made a ton of mistakes, but is this pivot of building a company, especially for Bitcoiners, is not about being able to predict the future and make risky bets on where the puck is going. It's about listening to customers, doing the right thing, wake up every single day, work hard. But again, Bitcoin, if money is the technology that is supposed to allow us to place a premium on our future, it has entirely changed me and saved my life, really. And 100%. When you look at a Bitcoin business, not just our product line, not just that we don't list shit coins, we don't fuck around. It is as efficient, and the mentality we have, we win. That's what I talk about at Strike. And I think customers respect that, and you get that, and you see the level of quality in our products, in my keynotes, in our presentations. I think we have a lead in the market when it comes to understanding and embodying Bitcoin.
Jack Mallers highlighted the Bitcoin community's unique qualities, emphasizing the importance of building strong connections through shared struggles. In these uncertain times, he stressed the need to focus on what can be controlled and to make deliberate decisions amid chaos. Despite the challenges of navigating complex systems and regulations, Mallers remains committed to Bitcoin's core principles. He calls for resilience and strategic leadership, urging others to do the same. As the US dollar's dominance wanes, Bitcoin's rise looks less like a fleeting trend and more like a sign of a major financial shift. The market anticipates a surge in Bitcoin's price, suggesting a potential upheaval on the horizon. Let's go back to the interview and watch more clips to gain insights from Jack Mallers.
Whatever, time and energy, money's this hard thing. At the end of the day, revolution, new technology, you go through shit. Yeah. Like every Bitcoiner I know, this hypothetical grandiose speak, like plain English, my friends' jobs aren't nearly as tense as what I had in El Salvador with you. Wow. So you build really strong relationships through going through shit, which also is kind of getting back to being like human, is this like kind of central bank, centrally controlled poetic life of like being an NPC, get on the train and everyone drinks a coffee. And so Bitcoiners go through shit. An idea that I've flirted with Dylan. Well, for context, proper intro for Dylan, Matt did a great one, but Dylan and I grew up together. So Dylan's my childhood best friend. Professionally, he's my chief of staff, which to us at Strike just means he helps me do what's most important for the business and our customers. So he was there in El Salvador, like there for all of it. And the unsung hero of my career in Strike, and he deserves unbelievable amounts of credit. Like I don't know where I'd be without Dylan. As far as my political aspirations, I have joked with him that, I think I could be the mayor of Chicago and the CEO of Strike at some point. Similar to, a lot of it inspired by you, like going back to where I came from and making it a better place. And we joke about it sometimes. I think a lot of Dylan's job is keeping my ambitions within reach. And so the reality is the best thing I can do for the world today and when I wake up tomorrow is to work on Strike, make customers happy, fight for Bitcoin. For context, and I think when I go to these conferences and people come up, and it means the world to me when I get support from the Bitcoin community. But it's like, you were just a pleb like us. I'm like, I still am. But I agree with Nick in that tweet. It was just a decision. Like, I'm going to be a founder. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to help El Salvador. And why would I want to be the mayor of Chicago? Because I think I could do a better job. I think, actually, I know I can do a better job.
The politics part is what destroys people. Like that's what like actually like grinds you down and
maybe,
and takes
but
you down
I
to
don't.
the core. Right?
You might be right. That could very well be true. But my point is lesser about politics. Like you could take what you guys are saying, and I applied it to my career of trying to build a Bitcoin business that's the antithesis of Coinbase, but I could put it on your career. I would not advise anyone to be the co-founder and leader of the biggest like 501c3 funding devs. You fund 200 developers. You co-founded the park. You're a managing partner at the most important Bitcoin-focused venture firm in the space. I mean, your hands are everywhere. I also wouldn't recommend that for a man's health, for a man's sanity.
Really bad.
No, but seriously, right? And like, I mean, Odell and I talk once a week, and sometimes it's therapeutic. It sounds like your guys' relationship, like when someone needs that like virtual hug or whatever. Like, so I also wouldn't recommend a man doing that, but it's been your career. So it's like when I say I want to be one of the greatest competitors of all time, it's not because there's an addiction to winning or anything. It's when everything comes to bear, that's when you really figure out who you are and what matters. And so competition is challenging yourself in that way. I'm always looking. So to me, it's like, yeah, government's fucked up. Why can't I fix it?
While Jack Mallers emphasizes Bitcoin's power to generate hope and optimism, the US dollar index's recent tumble to a new low raises questions about its stability. The contrast between Bitcoin's growth and the dollar's decline is remarkable. Mallers' company has profited from Bitcoin's amazing growth over the past decade as the dollar's dominance fades. The Federal Reserve's dovish tone and projected interest rate decrease have led to the dollar's slide, with Fed Chair Jerome Powell's remarks at Jackson Hole implying a September rate reduction. According to analyst Neil Rorty, the dollar's dominance is fading, with interest rates anticipated to fall dramatically by the end of the year. This shift in the global economy has raised concerns about a crisis, an economic slump, and increased consumer prices if the dollar index goes below 90, as warned by Peter Schiff. The contrast between Bitcoin's growth and the dollar's collapse raises issues about the future of money and commerce. The Federal Open Market Committee's July meeting minutes revealed officials are more dovish than previously assumed, implying interest rates may fall faster than expected. By the end of the year, current interest rates could be reduced by much to 100 basis points, refreshing dollar expectations and potentially driving currency volatility. Meanwhile, central banks in Europe and Japan will likely decrease interest rates, potentially leading to large currency changes. The European Central Bank and the Bank of England are expected to cut interest rates further, while the Bank of Japan's next step remains unclear following its surprise interest rate hike in July. Despite the excitement around digital assets, other experts, such as Marcus Thielen, advise caution owing to declining market fundamentals and a possible important tipping point in September, signaled by a drop in demand. As we conclude, what are your thoughts on this interview? Please drop your thoughts in the comments below, share this video, and hit your thumbs on the like button. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.